Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. Today we're diving into a wild story, one that really shook up the crypto world. And even went beyond that. We're talking about a meme coin that actually messed with Argentina's stock market. If you're into that crazy mix of finance, politics, and internet culture, well, you're in the right place. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like if you want to keep up with all the crazy stuff happening in crypto.
Yeah, this is one for the books for sure. It really shows how much power these online communities, these meme-loving folks can have, even in the serious world of finance.
Seriously, right? We're talking about Libra, a meme coin, and it somehow caused Argentina's version of the S&P 500, that's the S&P Merval, to drop by, get this, 5%. And hold on, it gets even wilder because this whole thing involves Argentina's president, Javier Milei.
Milei's, well, he's a controversial guy, that's for sure. Known for his pretty strong libertarian views. And yeah, his connection to this Libra thing is raising eyebrows all over the place.
Okay, so for all our CoinTalk Podcast viewers out there, let's break this down. What exactly are we talking about when we say meme coins?
Okay, meme coins. Well, they're cryptocurrencies that are, they're inspired by memes, those funny internet things. And they often get popular because of all the hype on social media, and they can see their prices swing like crazy in really short amounts of time. This Libra thing, it was launched on a platform called pump.fun, which uses the Solana blockchain.
So for those who are maybe new to crypto, think of Solana like a platform, a kind of blockchain tech. And pump.fun is built on top of that.
Exactly. And it's on this platform that Libra, this meme coin that's, well, supposedly tied to the Argentine president, was born.
Right. Milei himself didn't create Libra, but at first he actually tweeted his support for it. He even hinted that it could help Argentina's economy.
Yep, that's right. But then as the price crashed, like 90% from its highest point, Milei was quick to delete that tweet.
Oh, man. The dangers of social media and crazy crypto prices all in one story.
And this is where things get even crazier. There's now a lawsuit against Milei saying that he was involved in some kind of fraud with Libra, but his office says they had no idea about this whole launch beforehand.
So he's denying any involvement, but doesn't look good, does it?
Not really. But wait, there's more. We got to talk about Hayden Davis. He's the CEO of a company called Kelsier Ventures, and he says he's an advisor to Milei on this whole Libra thing.
Now, this Davis guy, he's an interesting character in all of this. He actually admitted to, get this, sniping the token right at launch. For our CoinTalk Podcast viewers, could you explain what sniping even is and why it's seen as, kind of shady?
Sure thing. Sniping basically means using these computer programs, bots, to automatically buy tons of a new cryptocurrency the moment it's available. They take advantage of the low price at the beginning and the fact that there's not a lot of it being traded yet. And it can be really controversial because it means that certain people can kind of manipulate the market, They can make unfair profits, especially at the expense of smaller investors who can't use these fancy bot tools.
Got it. So Davis used this sniping tactic and ended up grabbing, $100 million from Libra's liquidity pool. That's a massive amount of money, especially for a meme coin, right?
It is, yeah. And this is where it gets even more interesting. Davis says he won't actually cash out that $100 million. Instead, he's going to talk to Milei and the Argentine government about what to do with the money.
Hold on. He's not running off with all that cash. That's not what we usually see. What do you think his motivation is here?
Honestly, it's got everyone baffled. Some people think it's a clever move to stay out of legal trouble or avoid looking bad. Others think it's a way to get on Milei's good side, maybe gain some influence in Argentina's crypto scene.
It's definitely a surprise twist, that's for sure. Makes this whole crazy situation even more complex. And get this, to make things even more surreal, Libra's price went up over 60% after Milei shared a tutorial on how to buy it. What is going on here? If you're just as mind-blown by all of this as we are, make sure to leave a comment below with your thoughts. And hey, share this episode of CoinTalk Podcast with your friends who are just as fascinated by the crazy world of crypto.
It's like meme culture and the stock market just collided head on. But it really shows you, how much these online groups and all that meme stuff can actually affect the serious financial systems.
Yeah, it's like we're watching some kind of experiment happen in real time.
Yeah.
And nobody really knows what the results are going to be.
And it's not just about the prices bouncing around. This whole thing brings up some big questions about, how much should the government be involved in regulating crypto?
That's a great point, actually. We see this tension between innovation and regulation all the time here on CoinTalk Podcast. So how do governments even approach something like this, especially with a president kind of sort of endorsing a meme coin?
It's a tough one for sure. You want to encourage, new ideas and not kill the growth of this whole new technology. But at the same time, you got to protect investors and make sure the market doesn't go completely haywire.
It's almost like regulators are always a step behind, trying to make rules for something that's changing faster than they can keep up with.
Exactly. And that's what creates all this uncertainty and risk, not just for people who invest, but for the whole financial system.
So what can we do? Like, what's the solution?
Honestly, there's no easy answer. But I think it's got to be a multi-pronged approach, Clear guidelines for these crypto projects, more transparency from public figures who get involved, and a lot more education for investors. All of that is crucial.
Education, right. That's got to be key.
Yeah.
If people don't understand how this technology works, how to spot a scam, how to figure out the risk, well, they're going to make bad choices.
Totally. An educated investor is a protected investor. That's kind of the whole point of what we're doing here at CoinTalk Podcast, breaking this stuff down, making it easy for everyone to understand.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to crypto. So all you CoinTalk Podcast viewers out there, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and you won't miss any of our deep dives into this fascinating world.
All right, going back to this Libra situation and Milei, what do you think this means for him, for his presidency, and for Argentina's economy in the long run?
That's a good question. This whole thing could really go either way,
It's a double-edged sword, kind of. On the one hand, being connected to this meme coin, even if it wasn't intentional, could really hurt Milei's image, Especially with more moderate voters. His critics are already saying he's reckless and irresponsible because of this.
But then again, his supporters, especially those who like his whole anti-establishment thing, might actually see this as a good thing. Like he's challenging the system, fighting for the little guy.
And remember how Libra's price went up after he shared that tutorial? That tells you he still has a lot of influence over some people, the ones who are online a lot and into crypto.
Maybe this whole thing will actually make him stronger with certain groups.
It could, for sure. It all comes down to how he handles this and how the public sees what he does. It's a big gamble, and we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
It's a good reminder that with social media and all these memes flying around, the line between politics and finance is getting blurrier and blurrier. And it's not just in Argentina either. Remember Donald Trump's Trump token? That thing reached a crazy valuation of like $70 billion.
Yeah, right. These sovereign-tied meme coins, they're becoming a global thing. They're tapping into the power of online communities and social media to create these assets that are, well, super volatile, but also potentially really profitable.
It's wild, right? Like now online popularity can actually translate into real financial power. And that leads to some really interesting questions about the future of finance and what role technology will play in shaping it.
It's fascinating and a bit unsettling at the same time. We're seeing a shift away from those traditional big institutions toward models that are more decentralized, more driven by communities.
And the speed at which it's happening is insane. It's like we blinked and suddenly meme coins are affecting stock markets and presidents are tweeting about crypto. If you want to stay on top of all this, you got to subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast. We break down these complicated topics and help you make sense of the ever-changing world of crypto.
Staying informed and being flexible is super important in this world. What was seen as fringe just a few years ago is now having a real impact on global economics and politics.
Okay, let's talk specifically about meme coins for a sec. They've been getting a lot of attention lately, but are they just a fad? Or are they here to stay?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Nobody knows for sure, but I think the technology behind them, blockchain, that's here to stay for sure. It has the potential to change so many industries, from finance to supply chains to healthcare, you name it.
But what about the meme part? Is that just a cultural blip, or is there something more substantial driving it?
It's easy to dismiss meme coins as just silly internet stuff, but I think there's more to it than that. They tap into this shared online consciousness, this humor and irony that's become a huge force in shaping culture, and now even economics.
They kind of represent a distrust in the old institutions and a desire for something different, something more decentralized, more community-driven.
Exactly. Whether meme coins in their current form will stick around, who knows? But the fact that they've managed to break into the mainstream financial world like this, it tells you we're seeing a fundamental shift in how we think about value and how we interact with it.
So for the average person trying to navigate this crazy world of meme coins, volatile markets, and presidents tweeting about crypto, what should they be thinking about? What advice would you give to our CoinTalk Podcast viewers?
That's a great question. If we zoom out a bit, I think there are a few key takeaways. First, it's more important than ever to be financially literate, Understand the basics of how markets work, what makes prices go up and down, and how to figure out risk.
Don't just follow the crowd. Do your research. Learn about the projects you're interested in, understand the technology, and know the risks.
Exactly. Second, don't fall for all the hype and trends on social media. Just because something's trending on Twitter or TikTok doesn't mean it's a good investment. Don't let FOMO, that fear of missing out, control your financial decisions.
And for our viewers who want in-depth analysis and insights, be sure to subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast. We break down these complex topics and give you the info you need to make smart choices.
Third, stay informed. The world of finance is always changing, and crypto is just one example. Learn as much as you can to make good decisions. There are tons of great resources online, from websites to podcasts like ours to online courses. Take advantage of them.
So education, critical thinking, and a healthy dose of skepticism, those are the tools you need to survive and thrive in this wild financial world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This Libra situation in Argentina just highlights how unpredictable things can be. What started as a weird little sideshow has become a major news story with potential global consequences.
This is why we do these deep dives on CoinTalk Podcast. Because sometimes the craziest stories are the ones that tell us the most about the world we live in. But we've covered a lot today. What are your final thoughts on all this?
Here's my final thought. The Libra saga, as messy and confusing as it is a tiny reflection of a much bigger change that's happening. We're seeing traditional financial systems collide with this decentralized, often kind of chaotic world of cryptocurrency. And what happens next? Well, nobody knows for sure.
Buckle up, everyone. It's going to be a wild ride. And to make sure you don't miss any of the crazy twists and turns, hit that subscribe button on CoinTalk Podcast, like this video, and share it with your friends who need to hear this. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into the most fascinating stories shaping the crypto landscape. It really shows you, how much we need, like clearer rules for crypto, especially when you've got public figures getting involved.
Absolutely. This whole Libra thing, it really highlights, the need for more transparency, especially when you've got a president seemingly like endorsing a meme coin.
Yeah, even if it wasn't like an official endorsement, that tweet from Milei definitely sent a message, and people reacted big time.
It brings up some tricky questions about, transparency, conflicts of interest, and just the overall integrity of the market. How do you even regulate something like crypto, something that's so decentralized, so global, while still allowing for, innovation and freedom?
It's a tough one, for sure. And it's a question that lawmakers and regulators all over the world are trying to figure out. And honestly, it's something we've been talking about here on CoinTalk Podcast for a while now. If you want to learn more about the whole crypto regulation landscape, check out some of our older episodes. We've covered a lot, from the SEC's stance on Bitcoin to the EU's proposed MiCA regulations.
Yeah, there's no easy answer, no magic solution. But I think open discussion, education, and, a willingness to adapt, those are all key. We got to find that balance, between protecting investors and making sure innovation can still happen.
Right, absolutely. And that's where informed investors like our CoinTalk Podcast viewers come in. The more people understand this technology, the better equipped we'll all be to navigate this new world and make smart choices.
And we'll just power, right, especially in the world of crypto.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you said earlier about this whole Libra thing being like a mini version of a much bigger change that's happening. Can you say more about that? What exactly are we seeing here?
Well, we're seeing a fundamental shift in how we think about value, how we interact with it. Traditionally, value has always been tied to things you can touch, like land, gold, or company stock. But cryptocurrencies, and especially meme coins, they challenge that whole idea.
Right. They're digital, decentralized, and often based on, memes, which can seem kind of ridiculous to people who aren't familiar with this whole space.
Yeah, but their impact is real. They've forced us to face the fact that value can be created and destroyed online just as easily as it can in the physical world.
And that power to create and destroy value, it's increasingly in the hands of these online communities, influencers, even meme creators. It's a huge change from the old centralized financial systems.
It is, and it's happening so fast. This Libra situation, as weird and specific as it is, it's a perfect example of this bigger transformation.
It's like a glimpse into the future of finance. And it's, it's both exciting and a little scary, to be honest.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's a time of massive opportunity, but also massive risk. Staying informed, being adaptable, and maybe a little bit adventurous. That's key.
Well said. So, to all our amazing CoinTalk podcast viewers, what do you think about all this? What sticks out to you the most? Is it the crazy price swings of meme coins, the way politics and crypto are mixing, or the potential for, huge disruptions in the financial world? Let us know in the comments. We love hearing from you.
And hey, don't forget to subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast, like this video, and share it with your friends. Let's keep the conversation going.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the world of meme coins, Argentine politics, and the future of money. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned to CoinTalk Podcast.